let's jump right in. We're going deep on Web 3.0 news today. A whole stack of fresh articles from Web3 Wire. Everything from, bullish crypto picks to the foundation of it all, fiber optics.
I think what really struck me about this batch of articles is just how Web 3.0 is finding its way into almost every corner of our lives, even the ones that, don't immediately scream future of the internet.
Right. Like, I don't usually think about cables when I think about the metaverse.
Mhm.
But let's back up for a second. Big picture first. This article here, Exploring Web3, Unleashing Decentralized Innovation for the Future. It really lays out the whole concept.
It does, and it's not just about the technology itself, right? This is about a potential shift in in society. Really, it's moving away from these big centralized platforms that kind of dominate Web 2.0, and towards a future where users have more control. Think blockchain, peer-to-peer networks, that sort of thing.
So instead of like relying on Facebook or Google to manage our data, we'd have more direct ownership.
Yeah.
It's that's a huge change. A little intimidating, honestly.
Well, sure, yeah. I think that feeling comes from the unfamiliarity. It's a big jump from what we're all used to. But imagine a world where your online identity isn't controlled by some corporation, but by you through things like Soulbound Tokens, which we'll talk about later. You decide what information gets shared and who sees it. That's empowering.
Yeah. Okay. More control, more transparency. And speaking of excitement, there's this article predicting Web3 Bay as the top bullish crypto for 2025.
Web3 Bay predicted as top bullish crypto for 2025. The concept is really interesting. It's a decentralized marketplace that wants to connect buyers and sellers directly. Kind of like eBay, but built on blockchain, no middleman.
So a Web 3.0 eBay, but with crypto at its core.
Yeah.
But is the hype, is it warranted?
Well, that's the big question, right? I mean, the enthusiasm is a good sign, and it definitely reflects this bigger trend of these decentralized platforms. But we also have to remember that the crypto market, it's volatile. Predictions are just that, predictions.
True. It's a wild ride. Maybe we should focus in on some of the specific technologies driving this Web 3.0 train. This article here caught my eye. Exploring Soulbound Tokens. Potential and protocol adoption by ZEUS. Soulbound tokens. That sounds kind of mystical.
It does, doesn't it? They're basically non-transferable digital assets, kind of like badges or proof of affiliation. But instead of just saying, "Hey, I went to this university," your Soulbound token, it cryptographically verifies it on the blockchain.
So if I'm following you, this ZEUS protocol, the one the article mentions, it uses these tokens to create what are they called? Verifiable credentials. That could totally change how we think about online identity.
Exactly. It's like having your resume, your diplomas, your certificates all rolled into one tamper-proof package. It could streamline so many things: hiring, education verification, even memberships. Imagine walking into a conference and your token just grants you access based on your credentials, that are verified.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah.
Makes you think about the privacy side of it, though. Who controls this data? What happens if the tech ends up excluding people?
Yeah, you've hit on some really important questions. This tech is still evolving, and these ethical considerations, we have to address them head on. It's a balance between convenience and control, and that's a conversation that's far from over.
For sure. Something to keep in mind as things develop.
Yeah.
Now, for something that at first glance doesn't exactly scream Web 3.0, but turns out to be really, really important, fiber optics. I mean, who gets excited about cables, right?
Yeah, maybe not as much as the metaverse or something. But this article, Future of Fiber Optics Market Analysis and Leadership by Corning, Fasten, ZTT, Fiberhome, STL, Hentong, Furukawa, Futong. It makes a strong case for why they're crucial. It highlights the need for this really robust fiber optic infrastructure to handle the massive data demands that come with Web 3.0.
So we're talking about the literal backbone of the network, all those data intensive applications like the metaverse, AI, blockchain. None of it works without these super fast, reliable connections.
Right. It's a good reminder that even in the digital world, the physical world still matters. It's not all about the fancy concepts, but about the infrastructure that supports them.
And speaking of the real world, Web 3.0 isn't just changing things online. It's changing how we interact with the physical world too, especially in areas like agriculture.
Oh, that's a great point. This article, Future of Smart Agriculture Market Analysis and Leadership by Dairy Master, Agjunction, Dickey-John, GEA Group, Canthus, Agrivi, Raven Industries, Granular, it digs into how these Web 3.0 technologies are coming together to transform farming practices.
Okay, so break it down for me. What does smart agriculture actually look like?
Well, imagine a farm where sensors are gathering data in real time on everything,
Yeah.
from soil moisture to livestock health, and this data it's analyzed by AI algorithms. So it's optimizing things like irrigation schedules, feeding schedules. It all leads to increased efficiency and sustainability.
So it's like taking the guesswork out of farming,
Mhm.
making it more data driven. Where does blockchain fit into all this?
Blockchain comes in when we talk about transparency and traceability. Imagine scanning a QR code on your produce at the supermarket and instantly seeing its entire journey from farm to table. You'd know where it was grown, how it was handled, even the farmer who grew it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So potentially this could mean more sustainable and ethical food production.
Exactly, and that's just one example. We're seeing similar applications in areas like supply chain management, where blockchain is used to track goods and verify their origins. It helps to fight counterfeiting and ensure ethical sourcing.
It really is. It's touching every aspect of our lives. And now, for something a little more futuristic, let's talk about the metaverse and digital twins.
Ah, yes. Stepping into the space where the digital and physical worlds collide. We have two articles here that offer a glimpse into this rapidly evolving landscape. Digital twin innovations and key players. SAP, Microsoft Corporation, Dassault Systems, ANSYS, IBM Corporation, AVIA Group, PTC, and Industrial Metaverse Industry Dynamics and Contributions by Microsoft, NVIDIA Omniverse, Unity Technologies, Capgemini, PTC, Nokia, Foresight, Autodesk.
Okay, I think most people have heard of the metaverse at this point, especially with all the VR hype. But what are digital twins exactly?
Imagine a virtual replica of a physical object or system. It could be a building, a city, even a human heart. And these digital twins, they're constantly updated with real-time data from their physical counterparts. This allows us to simulate, analyze, and optimize in a virtual environment.
So you could have a digital twin of of a city to simulate traffic patterns,
Yeah.
or test out different infrastructure plans before making changes in the real world.
Exactly. Or you could have a digital twin of an airplane engine to monitor its performance in real time and predict maintenance needs before any problems even come up. It improves safety and efficiency.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. How does this tie into the metaverse?
So the industrial metaverse, like the second article highlights, that's where these digital twins they kind of come to life in a shared virtual space. Imagine engineers from all over the world, collaborating in a virtual factory, using digital twins to design and test new products or troubleshoot production issues, all in real time.
So it's like taking the concept of remote work to a whole new level.
Yeah.
With virtual collaboration happening inside these incredibly detailed simulations.
Yeah, it is. And companies like Microsoft and NVIDIA, they're really leading the way here, developing platforms that power these immersive collaborative experiences.
It all sounds it sounds very futuristic, but it's happening now. It's incredible how fast this technology is moving.
It is, and that's really just the beginning. We have a few more intriguing articles to discuss, covering everything from the future payments to the mind-boggling concept of a quantum internet.
We've definitely covered a lot already, but I'm eager to hear more. Stay tuned, folks, because we'll be back in just a moment to dive even deeper into the world of Web 3.0 news.
And we're back, continuing our deep dive into the ever-evolving world of Web 3.0.
We've already covered some pretty groundbreaking stuff, from Soulbound Tokens to smart agriculture, but there's still so much more to explore.
What's really interesting to me is how Web 3.0 is starting to intersect with other emerging fields, like artificial intelligence, and it's creating this synergy that's just driving innovation at an incredible pace.
We touched on AI's role in smart agriculture a bit earlier,
Yeah.
but I'm curious about its impact on other areas, like decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs as they're often called.
DAOs They're a truly revolutionary concept. Organizations run by code rather than traditional hierarchical structures. So decision-making power it's distributed among members,
Yeah.
often through the use of tokens instead of being concentrated in a central authority.
So instead of like a CEO calling all the shots, you have a community of stakeholders making decisions collectively, guided by pre-programmed rules and algorithms.
Precisely, and AI can play a really crucial role in automating a lot of the tasks and processes within a DAO. Things like data analysis, proposal generation, even voting and execution, making them more efficient, more transparent, and potentially even more democratic.
I have to admit, this all sounds incredibly complex. Is this something the average person can even wrap their head around, let alone participate in?
I think that's a valid concern. The technology can seem daunting, but one of the great things about Web 3.0 is that it's all about empowering individuals, regardless of their technical expertise. There are platforms and tools being developed to make it easier for everyday people to interact with DAOs, create their own tokens, and engage in decentralized finance or DeFi, as it's often called, without needing a degree in computer science.
Speaking of DeFi, it seems like that's another area where we're seeing a ton of innovation. What exactly does decentralized finance entail?
Imagine a financial system that operates without the need for traditional intermediaries, like banks. That's essentially what DeFi is aiming to achieve. We're talking about things like lending, borrowing, trading, all facilitated through blockchain technology and smart contracts. And they often use stable coins, which are cryptocurrencies that are pegged to stable assets like the U.S. dollar to help mitigate volatility.
So potentially a more accessible, transparent, and equitable financial system.
That's the vision, yeah. But like with any emerging technology, there are risks and challenges that need to be addressed. Security is paramount, as is educating users about the potential pitfalls of this new financial landscape.
Right, because even with all the potential benefits, I think one of the big challenges for Web 3.0 is bridging the gap between the early adopters and the mainstream. For a lot of people, this all still seems like a distant concept. Something for tech enthusiasts and crypto millionaires.
That's true, but the landscape is changing rapidly. We're seeing more and more companies from small startups to global corporations exploring how Web 3.0 can transform their industries. And as the underlying technology matures and becomes more user friendly, I think we could expect to see even greater mainstream adoption.
Think about it. Just a few years ago, most people didn't even know what blockchain was. Now it's becoming a household term, and we're seeing its applications across a whole range of sectors.
Exactly, from supply chain management and healthcare to voting systems and digital identity. The potential impact of blockchain technology is truly profound. And as these applications become more integrated into our daily lives, the concept of Web 3.0 will become less abstract and more tangible.
And it's not just about established industries adopting this technology. We're also seeing the rise of the creator economy in the Web 3.0 space, which is incredibly exciting.
Absolutely. Artists, musicians, writers, other creators are using blockchain technology to monetize their work in new and innovative ways, often bypassing traditional gatekeepers and building direct relationships with their audiences.
We briefly touched on NFTs earlier, but can you elaborate on how they fit into this creator economy?
Think of NFTs as digital certificates of authenticity. They allow creators to sell unique digital assets, whether it's artwork, music, or even virtual real estate, directly to collectors. This cuts out the middleman, giving creators more control over their work and potentially earning them a larger share of the profits.
It's like taking the concept of patronage to a whole new level, where fans can directly support the creators they love and potentially even share in their success.
Exactly, and it's not just about financial gain either. NFTs also provide creators with new ways to engage with their audiences, building communities and fostering deeper connections.
It's an exciting time to be a creator in the Web 3.0 space, that's for sure. But amidst all the excitement, it's important to acknowledge that there are also potential risks and challenges associated with this new landscape.
Absolutely. Like with any emerging technology, there are always growing pains, security concerns, ethical considerations that need to be addressed. We need to be mindful of issues like data privacy, cybersecurity, and the potential for scams and fraud.
Right, and we need to have open and honest conversations about how to mitigate these risks and ensure that Web 3.0 benefits everyone, not just a select few.
That's why it's so important to stay informed, do your research, and approach this space with a critical mindset.
Yeah.
Don't just blindly follow the hype. Take the time to understand the underlying technologies, the potential benefits, and the potential pitfalls.
Because ultimately, Web 3.0 is still in its early stages. What we're seeing today is just a glimpse of what's to come.
The future of the internet and maybe even society as a whole is being shaped right now.
And it's up to all of us to participate in this conversation and ensure that Web 3.0 lives up to its potential. Speaking of potential, we have a few more fascinating articles to dive into, covering everything from the impact of Web 3.0 on healthcare to the role of augmented reality in shaping the metaverse.
So stay with us as we continue to explore the latest developments and trends in the ever-evolving world of Web 3.0.
We're back, and wow,
Yeah.
it's incredible how much we've covered in this deep dive on Web 3.0 news.
From the very practical, like fiber optics, to the really mind-bending potential of DAOs,
Yeah.
it feels like we've barely scratched the surface.
It really does. But I gotta admit, even with all the amazing stuff we've talked about, I'm a little overwhelmed. It's like drinking from a fire hose of information.
I get it. Web 3.0 is a vast and dynamic space. It's moving at warp speed. It can be overwhelming even for those of us who follow it closely.
But that's why we do this deep dive, right? To break down these complex topics and help our listeners navigate this exciting but often confusing landscape.
Exactly. We want to empower you to understand the potential of Web 3.0 and how it might impact your life both now and in the future.
Well, speaking of impact, we have a couple more articles I want to talk about before we wrap things up. This one really caught my eye. It's about the intersection of Web 3.0 and healthcare.
Revolutionizing healthcare. Blockchain's impact on data security and accessibility. Yeah, it's an area that's ripe for disruption, with the potential to transform, well, everything from medical records to clinical trials.
It highlights this one project that's using blockchain to track the provenance of pharmaceuticals, making sure that medications are authentic and safe all along the supply chain.
That's a crucial application, especially with the global problem of counterfeit drugs.
Yeah.
With blockchain, each step of the journey from manufacturing to distribution, it's all recorded and verified. It makes it much harder for bad actors to introduce fake medications into the system.
It also talks about decentralized clinical trial platforms. They use blockchain to streamline things like recruitment, data collection, and analysis. Imagine how much faster we could develop new treatments and cures if trials were more efficient and accessible.
It's a game changer. Not only could it could accelerate the pace of medical research, but it could also make trials more inclusive,
Yeah.
reaching a wider and more diverse patient population.
That's incredible. Web 3.0 really does have the potential to revolutionize healthcare.
Yeah.
So for our final article, let's shift gears and talk about the metaverse, specifically the role augmented reality might play in shaping its future.
Augmenting reality, bridging the gap between the physical and digital worlds. It's a fascinating look at how AR could make the metaverse more accessible and engaging, especially for those who aren't really comfortable with virtual reality.
Exactly. Instead of putting on a headset and immersing yourself in a completely virtual world, AR it overlays digital content onto our physical surroundings. It creates this blended experience.
Imagine walking down the street and seeing virtual signs, pointing you to destination, or attending a concert where holograms of your favorite musicians are appearing on stage alongside the live performers.
Or even having a virtual meeting where your colleagues appear as holograms, sitting across the table from you.
Yeah.
It makes remote collaboration feel much more natural.
The possibilities are endless, and as AR glasses and headsets become more sophisticated and affordable, these experiences will become, well, they'll become more realistic and more commonplace.
It's a good reminder that Web 3.0 isn't just about escaping into virtual worlds. It's also about enhancing our real world experiences with digital overlays and interactions.
And that brings us to the end of our deep dive on Web 3.0 news.
It's been quite a journey from the very practical applications of blockchain in supply chains and healthcare to the mind-blowing possibilities of the metaverse. We've explored a wide range of trends and developments that are shaping the future of the internet.
And remember, this is just a snapshot of a very rapidly evolving landscape.
Yeah.
What we've discussed today might seem commonplace in just a few years, and entirely new concepts they'll emerge that we can't even imagine yet.
The key takeaway is that Web 3.0 is not just a technological evolution. It's a societal one. It has the potential to fundamentally change how we live, how we work, how we interact, how we create.
And it's up to all of us to shape this future. Will you be a passive observer or an active participant? Will you embrace the opportunities and the challenges that Web 3.0 presents?
We hope this deep dive has equipped you with the knowledge and insights to make informed decisions and engage in this exciting new frontier.
So stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring. The future of Web 3.0 is waiting to be written.
And we can't wait to see what you create.